Greetings and welcome to Hexed and Countered. I'm Joe. In this video, we will be doing a playthrough of the game Play at the Races, tabletop horse racing game from PLAAY Games. It's pretty new. I just got it not too long ago. Did a first look about a week ago. And now we're going to do some gameplay. So I'm going to get right into it, and I'll explain what we're doing as we kind of go along. But the idea is to show you how the game plays. So the first thing we're going to do, according to our handy-dandy rulebook here, is we're going to use this little sheet here to determine the races, or the race. We're on one race, at least to begin with, and then track conditions. So you're going to roll 2 yellow dice and add them twice for each race. So the first one will determine the field size. If you roll a 12, you get unusual, and you'll have to roll again in here. Then you roll for race length. Pretty straightforward. So I've got my two yellows here. I'm just going to roll them on the board. We got an 11. Okay, so with an 11, you get 10 horses. Now let's see how long the race is. And we got a 4, so that's going to be a relatively short 6 furlongs. Right there. All right. Now we have one more roll with the 2 yellows. We roll the 2 yellow dice, add them. Then we consult this chart, and it'll tell us the track conditions. It's an 8, and that is normal, which is the result on most of that chart. Now we consult our book again, and you can see we're at step D, which is shuffle the jockey card. So we're going to place 1 randomly in each gate position between 1 and the field size. So 1 is over here, and we have 10 horses, so we're going to go all the way over to this one. Okay, then we'll do the jockeys, and then we'll do the horses the same way. Okay, and we could do pairs, but we'll just go with the random method here to keep things relatively simple. These are our jockey cards. I have them face down, so I can't see who we've got here. So I'm going to do from 10 to 1. It doesn't really matter. They are randomized. We've got Clive Shive here in the 10 spot. And in the 9 spot, we've got Denny Navarro. Next up, Vidal Gamboa. Then Garney Carter. Davis Vesey. Oscarina. Madrid Ulloa. Escamilla Panos maybe. Val Flores. And Jared Blauvelt. All right, now we'll do the horses in the same way. Okay, horses time. We'll do these in reverse. Turn a horse and they flip up the right way. So we start with horse 14. Run Can Run. He'll be in 1. Then we've got horse 19, For Pete's Sake. 75, Zephyr Jester. 41, Beatrix. 71, Pair of Deuces. 76, Sharp Exchange. 42, Fellow from Foxdale. Dakota Sunset, number 25. 29 Says Who. And in 10, Mississauga Miss. All right. So the next part is talking about pairing them up with a regular jockey, and F is doing the odds for betting. So we're not going to do that. I might do another video, and we'll talk about that, in that one. So next we're going to do the game boards, right? So here are the places, I guess. So you've got your leader, just like in the horse racing game, you got your leader, your front of the pack, middle, back, and far back, right? So let's see. The game boards mark out areas, right? One horse, yep. Okay, so we do need all the boards because we have 10 horses. So the horses are placed on the game board. Start with the horse in gate 1 and work through all the gates in number order. You roll 2 dice, the yellow dice, and add them. If it's equal to or lower than the sprint go rating, bold white number on the horse card above his name, 5 is lower than 6. Place the horse in the highest available position on the color of the trophy symbol, based on the color of the trophy symbol printed on the horse's card. Okay, so a gold will go in the leader position. Silver will go in the highest available front group. Bronze goes in the highest available in the middle group. And once those positions are filled, you work back. Just like this is very, very similar to how red, white, and blue racing works. So we'll roll for run can run. We got a 5. Okay, so with a 5, if we look at run can go, his sprint number is a 7. A 5 is lower than a 7. He has a silver trophy, so he would go to the front of the pack, and he is in 2, second place. Now we do for Pete's Sake, who also has a 7. And he gets a 9, so it is not higher. So when you get that, your horse goes to the back. So unfortunately, for Pete's Sake, he's going to start 10th. Okay, next up is Zephyr Jester. He's a 5, so that's not a good number. I just dropped the die on the floor. Okay, 7. That is not higher than a 5, so he goes back of the pack. And I think you just put them at the back, if I read this correctly. Place the horse in last position or stack it on top of any horse already there. So he goes on top. Okay. All right. Next up is Beatrix with an 8. That's a pretty good number. Got a 4. So Beatrix, which has a bronze. Beatrix has a bronze. So she is going, I'm assuming it's a she. I'm going to go here in 4th place. Then next up is Pair of Deuces with a 5. Not a good number. That's a 10. So for Pair of Deuces goes to the back as well. Next is Sharp Exchange with a 6. Gets an 8. Back. We got a gold trophy here with an 8. And rolled a 3. Gold trophy goes to the leader spot. So it's going to be Fellow from Foxdale going to the front. Next up, Dakota Sunset with a 7 gets a 5. Has a gold trophy. So that gets the next open spot in the front. Okay, then we've got 2 horses left. Says Who with a 5. And they say they're going to the back. And Mississauga Miss has a 7 and gets a 4. So with a gold trophy, we'll get the next highest spot open, which is 5th place, unfortunately. So it matters what gate they start in. And you can put the favorite or whatever in 1. Like I said, we skipped the betting part, but that's a way that you can kind of shape the outcome at the start, right? All right. Okay, so chips. Let's see. Shape of the race is up next. Arrangement of, oh wait, after this, after all the horses have left the gate, close any gaps or opening in the middle or front groups of the pack or leader by simply moving up from the boxes positioned below without disturbing the order. And then we go, okay, so Denny Navarro here will get 6th place on Says Who. Then Davis Vesey on Sharp Exchange gets 7th. Oscarina on Pair of Deuces is in 8th. 9th will be Escamilla Panos on Zephyr Jester. And For Pete's Sake, written by Val Flores, is in last place. Okay, now we go to phase 2, shape of the race. Okay, so this determines the race shape, i.e. how it will unfold based on how the horse is positioned relative to each other, which will affect the race's speed and pace. Assign chips to the participating horses based on their position out of the gate versus their racing profile. There are 4 possible profiles: front runner, stalker, middler, or closer. The horse's profile is printed at top left of their card. So our leader is a front runner. Imagine that. All right, leader gets a chip. Let's give them a red chip since this is a yellow area. Be a little easier to see. Okay, front runner is a front runner horse in the race leader spot gets a chip. Front group, any front runner or stalker in the front group is given a chip. Stalker, front runner, they both get chips. Give them blue chips. Okay, next, middle group, each middler in the middle group is given a chip. In addition, a stalker in 4th would get a chip. All right, middler, front runner, closer. So only one of these guys is getting a chip. We'll give them a red one. Okay, and then the back is no chips. Okay, so chips will add effectiveness in the horse's performance, and their use is explained shortly in Resolve the Race section. Phase 3, pace of the race. The leader of the race out of the gate can adjust the pace of the race from what is determined by track conditions. If a middler or closer horse is the leader, reduce the pace of the... Okay, that's not that you would reduce it by 1 level. That is to say, if track conditions are normal, a middler or closer horse as the leader out of the gate will reduce the pace to slow. If it's a front runner in the lead, you increase the pace by 1 level from normal to fast. So we are going to have a fast race. Okay. You know what? I just realized I didn't fill this out, so I'm going to do that off camera and be back in a sec. Okay, so we are in the first furlong, and the race action chart is here. So I'm going to take the two yellows and the black, and we're going to roll all 3. And we got an 8 and a 1. So the 8 is a burst. Okay, black die determines which 2 or more groups of packs of horses are involved. Front and middle, black die 1 or 2. So we're looking at front and middle. Middle and back is 3 and 4, and all groups are 5 and 6. Okay, and then the other horses, sum the 2 yellow die and reference their sum under the black die column for a specific action. Okay, so front, middle, and front groups, because we have a 1. An 8 is a burst. Okay, so we have to look at burst qualities. And we're looking at front and middle. So Run Can Run does not have burst. Dakota Sunset does. And then looking back, Mississauga Mist also has it. So I write that down on here, I guess. 1 and 8. The quality is burst. Okay, so burst along with reflex and speed are sprint qualities. Strong, push, and star are stamina qualities. Okay, so the horse profiles, front runner, stalker, middler, closer occasionally come into play as qualities when the word challenge occurs. Okay, so if the race action chart calls for a quality challenge, all horses, we check them, which we did. If they have the quality, they get the chance to challenge to try to move up in the pack, starting with the lowest positioned horse. That would be Mississauga Miss here. Some horses have star double qualities, right? Okay, we know that. I know that from, like I said, other games, from play, which gives them 2 chances, right? So resolve a challenge. We roll the red, white, and blue. We got a red, white, blue. We got 5, 3, 5. Okay, red die represents the challenging horse's effort and is compared to the jockey's ask rating. So Clive Shive has a 6, right? If the red die is equal to or less than the number of jockeys' diamond symbols. Oh, he's got 3. Okay. He's got, that 6 is his number. Sorry. It's the diamonds. So he fails that. The horse would respond positively. If not, the challenge fails regardless of the rules. Okay. Now, okay, there's a rule for not using jockeys, just generic jockeys, which would all have a rating of 4, it says. Okay, so we are going to do Dakota Sunset now. And we get a 2 and a 6 and a 1. So the jockey has 3. 2 is less than 3, so that is successful. The white die indicates the horse in the next group. Challenges to the race leader, of course, disregard the white die. So that is what this is. That would be a challenge to the leader. This, again, is just like the car game. The blue die represents the challenged horse's ability to hold his position as compared to the fend rating of the challenge. The fend rating is the sum of the following factors. Any X symbols on the horse's card? He has none. There is someone in, yeah, this one has 2, so you can see what they look like. Says who has 2, but fellow from Foxdale has none. So there's none there. If the challenge horse has the indicated quality, he does, then he gets a bonus X symbol. And if it was starred, he'd get 2 bonus X. So he has to be, you have to compare it. So if the blue die is equal to or less than the fend rating, the defense is successful and the challenge fails. So this challenge would fail because of the him having burst, he gets the 1X and the blue die is a 1. Therefore, the challenge fails. So that's how that works. And now we move on to the second furlong, which is a sprint furlong. And you can see you've got different types of furlongs here. I know I'm zoomed out, but I'm shooting in 4K, so hopefully you can take advantage of that to see this. I know it's probably a little small if you're on a phone, but I'm trying to read what's on here so you get the idea. So we have first, sprint, stamina, and final. All right, so for a sprint one, which is what this is, it's a sprint, it's marked. First furlong always gets first, of course. Second furlong always gets sprint. After that, it depends on the pace, I think. All right. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we just did. We're going to roll the 2 yellows and the black. We get a 2 and a 12. So 2 we know. Now we're in the sprint one. 2 is, again, front group. It's just front group, actually, because this one, they're all clumped together, I guess, in the first furlong is the thought there. 12 is unusual. So that's something different. Now, where is my unusual? Where are my other cards here? Here is unusual. We have unusual, and again, they're divided by first furlong, sprint, stamina. Oh, uncommon first. Oh, unusual and uncommon. And then on the back, you have the other, stamina and final. Okay, so unusual, sprint, furlongs. So we roll the 2 yellows again, and we get a 4. And a 4 is back group horse. We have to use die to determine which horse. Well, it's back group, which, there's 3 there. So I'm going to roll this. 1, 2 will be 7. 3, 4 will be 8. 5, 6 will be 9. Got a 5. So this is Zephyr Jester here. Back group horse surges, add 2 chips. Zephyr Jester, 2 chips. Oh, I forgot about the chip. They could have used the chip to win that challenge. I can retroactively do that, though, I'm pretty sure. Let me confirm that, because that's how it works in the red, white, and blue racing game. Yep, that's how it works. But they have a chip as well, so they cancel each other. So I'm going to roll a die. Odd, he elects not to use his chip to keep it. And even, he uses it, which means he uses his as well, so they both lose their chip. So it's odd, so they will both keep their chips. That's how, Okay, so that finished that. I wrote down the black and yellow 2 and 12, and unusual was the quality. Now we have to figure out what pace we have. So the pace is fast, which I believe means that we are still using sprint furlongs here. And that is actually right here. So we're in the third furlong. Pace is fast. We're in a sprint. Okay. On the question marks, you roll a die. Odd would be sprint, even would be stamina. So when we get to the fifth furlong at a fast pace, we'll have to roll to see if we use stamina. So we're still on sprint, so we're still going to stay in this chart here. And we get I'm getting a lot of doubles. 6 and 4. So we've got 6. Whoops, it's actually 4 and 6. Got that backwards. 4 and 6. This is sprint. Okay, so 4 is the middle group, and 6 is, go sprint. All right, so we get to see the go here, which is a little different. So go represents seize the moment opportunities on the track when it's all about the strength of the challenging horse. No quality checks are required, and no fend is possible except with the use of a chip. So we're going to roll our red, white, and blue. Okay, 6, 1, 3. This is probably not going to work. Typically, when you roll high, it's bad. So we're in the middle group here. If the sum is equal to, so we start with, I guess, 4. And, wow, he's got 5 diamonds? Wow, that's pretty good. All right, so we're looking at the sum is equal to or less than the horse's sprint or stamina go rating determined by pace and furlong of the race. The horse is successful and gets to swap places with the horse indicated by the white die. Okay, so that would be that one. So the horse, his go sprint is 8. So I think, and he also has a chip. So again, we're going to be in that same situation. So this is a go. I'm going to put go here. That looks like a 0-0. Sorry, bad writing. They both have a chip. So again, I'm just going to roll this to see. It's an odd rather, so they'll keep their chips. All right, so now we'll do this guy. He does not have a chip. And let's roll the red, white, and blue. He gets a 6 again, which he's got a 7, so that's good. And horse 3 would be this guy who does not have a chip, so they swap spots. Okay, and I think he gets, if a challenge is successful, the jockey of the challenging horse rolls within their ask rating, and the challenged horse rolls. Oh yeah, that's for this. Go results. And a few horses have starred go ratings. They do not have starred go ratings. No. Nope. All right. Starred go rating in sprint turns will earn a chip out of the gate if it rolls within its go. Okay. Let's see. Yep, that's good. So now we have to do this one, who has a 5. So that's a tougher one. He rolled a 6 again. So that is going to fail. And so we did have one movement there. And now we go to the 4th furlong. So again, we're fast, so it's still going to be a sprint furlong. So let's see what we get here. This is a 5 and an 8. All right, so I wrote it down. We've got sprint, 5-8. That is back group, and speed is the quality that we're checking. And we have 2 horses of the 3 back here that have it. Sharp Exchange and Zephyr Jester. And I think you start at the back, if I remember correctly, and work forward. All right, so we roll red, white, and blue here for Zephyr Jester. Now, Zephyr Jester has 2 chips, so they'll be able to move up. Wow, that's bad. So you look at the red for the ask, which is 4, and that's a 6, so that's a fail. So they're going to spend a chip. And the 5 for this group is Says Who. So that's who they're going to take the place of. Okay. Now, Sharp Exchange also gets to try. Davis Vesey has a 4, so we need to roll equal or less than 4 on the red, which we do. 6 is this horse that just moved up there. And the 4 would actually win, but they have a chip, so they'll spend their chip to stay in that spot. Okay, now we come to the 5th furlong, and this time we have to roll. Okay, so if it's odd, we'll use the black. If it's odd, it's sprint. If it's even, we'll get our first stamina. It's a 2. So that is even, so we get a stamina furlong here. Now we roll. That is a 2 and an 8. And in stamina, the black 2 is front group, and an 8 is push. Okay, so push, they both have push. So Shive, unfortunately for him, has to go first. So I push here. Shive has to go first, unfortunately, because of the chip situation. And he got a 2, which is under his ask. And he got a 5, which is over. Actually, well, it's unfortunate because he also gets to do it, and he has a chip. So he's going to actually end up taking the lead here. So I'll roll anyway, because if you get triples, that causes an issue. Crap. See, this is what happens when I try to not use a tray or a tower to save space. We got a 6. That's above his ask. But like I said, it doesn't matter because he can spend his chip and take the lead. So Run Can Run is now in the lead. Okay, now we get to the final furlong, and I forgot to give Closer a chip. Closers get a chip on the first stamina furlong, so they would get a chip. And I think that's our only closer. Yes. Okay. Says Who has a chip, but it's going to take a miracle. They don't have any starred qualities where you can actually move up to two groups, which would get them into the front. So we come to our final furlong. So here's the final furlong chart right there. Okay, so one interesting thing about this one is if you roll a 6 on the black, you get a duel, and 2 horses will go head to head. Otherwise, it's 1 will be front group only, 2nd will be middle and front, or 2 and 3, I should say, and a 4, 5 would be the middle and back groups. All right, 3 would be the middle and front, and we got a 5, which is reflex. Okay, starting at the back, reflex, yes, 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 and yes, starred. So Clive Shive might end up with the final laugh because Run Can Run does not have any X's. All right, but we got to start where we have to start. This guy also has a chip, so that's going to be a factor as well. So we'll start with Zephyr Jester here. We got a 1, that's going to pass the ask. We got a 4, which is fellow from Foxdale. We got a 4, and they're not going to be able to cover that, even though they have a reflex. That's only 1x. So we need to go here. Okay, next we'll do the 5th place horse, which is Dakota Sunset. Their ask is a 3. So the 6 will kill that. They don't move at all. Now this one has an ask of 5, but also has a chip. So if they can move up without using the chip, that would, I don't think, matter at this point. But we get a 1. Their ask is a 3, so that's good. We get a white 4, does not matter in this instance, and we get a 5. So again, that's not going to, actually, I'm sorry, 4 does matter. It's here. So they're going to move up and keep the chip. Doesn't really make that much difference because they can't really do anything with it. And then we have, right, so that completed that one. Now we would move up here and go to Clive Shive here, who has an ask of a 3 and a starred reflex, which means he gets 2 shots at this. And he might not need it. He won't need it. So he got it on the first try. He moves up to take the lead at the very end of the race. Okay, so in perusing the rules, right, if you have a chip, if the horse has a chip, it automatically spends it to win a challenge or fend. So earlier when I let them keep them, that's not the way you're supposed to do it. They're supposed to both lose it, I guess. Then we didn't get any unusual results or anything like that. And let's see, anything else that I need to mention here before? Nope, that's it. That's it. So our winner is Mississauga Mist, ridden by Clive Shive. That's the winner. Our place is the Run Can Run, number 14 horse, ridden by Jared Blaufelt. And third place for the show gets Madrid Ulloa riding Beatrix. So that is the race. I hope you got a good sense of how the game works. I tried to keep it reasonably short. Of course, playing this out without trying to explain things and check things and all that good stuff and dropping your dice and all the things that happened, you can probably bang out a race in probably 10 minutes or so once you get the hang of it. So kind of fun. It reminds me very much of a very shortened and compacted version of Red, White, and Blue Racing. There's different elements. We're talking about horses versus stock cars. We're talking about the car itself doesn't really matter. Your cards are the drivers, basically. I mean, they have a car. Cars are all basically the same, right? That's how kind of how NASCAR works these days. Here we have a jockey and a horse, and they both affect the race. So as usual, I think Keith did a great job designing it, figuring out how to make this work. In a way, we did not talk about the betting. So I might do another video. We'll see how this one does. If I do another video, we'll talk about how the betting and stuff works. So if you do want to see it, like the video, leave a comment, maybe both. And this will be part of my close. So again, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, give it a comment if you want to. The like is probably the first thing you do because I'll look at the likes to determine. Likes and views will determine how much I want to do another video. So like, share, hype. If you're not a subscriber and you want to see more of my stuff, the easiest way to do that is to subscribe, of course. Other than that, thank you for watching. Of course, I want to give my shout out to my channel members. I appreciate the ongoing support from you people. And thank you very much. To everybody else, though, also, big thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll come back and see something else on the channel here down the road. But for now, we are done. I'm Joe. This is Hexed and Countered Sports Edition. And until next time, as always, happy gaming.